was the one thing, and just understanding with that one thing, you got to come up with one strategy. That a lot of people focus their efforts on a lot of different strategies when it comes to real estate, or when it comes to anything really. That we kind of, we have the kind of running joke where you call it the squirrel effect, where you got a squirrel that runs and then you turn your head, you look. But there's a lot of distractions nowadays with different strategies, different entrepreneurial ventures you can do. And from that, a lot of people, they don't go long enough. They don't go further enough in their journey to really try to get traction to actually become successful. And so a lot of people, if you've seen it before, you have the gold, the miner that's digging for gold, and he's almost at striking it rich and hitting gold, and but he stops, and he was just 2 or 3 more swings of the pitchfork, and he would have been there. And that's what happens with a lot of people, that before we actually give ourselves enough runway, enough time to be successful at what we want to do, we stop. And so that's one of the things that I help with my coaching clients, that I get them to focus in on one strategy. What's their strategy that works with them? Because there's so many different things that you can go off and do. You can get into multifamily. You can get off into single family fix and flips, single family rentals, wholesaling, self-storage. You could buy notes. You could just invest passively into a private equity fund. There's so many different ways that you can invest in real estate and get started. But you got to figure out what works best for you, for the time that you have, the money that you have, and know based off of that, hey, do I want to start a fix and flip business, or do I just want to be a passive investor because I'm really good at my day job, I love my day job, and I don't want to go off and try to create something where I have to spend another 10, 20 hours to build this business. And so that's, I think, a lot of people, we kind of get this shiny object, we go from strategy to strategy, but we never work long enough in one strategy in order to become successful. And so I think that's one of the biggest things, that in order to kind of level up and get to the point where you're successful with this, when it comes to real estate investing, you just got to figure out one strategy. And I think that's one of the biggest things that it comes down to, is sitting down, focus, writing out your goals, your passive income, cash flow numbers that you have, and then crafting a strategy just based off, okay, what are you doing for your W-2 job, your day job? Okay, are you planning on leaving that job? Do you love your job? Are you looking for a career change? Do you have a large amount of income that's stored up in a retirement account? Maybe you can self-direct and start buying assets with your retirement money from a previous employer. Or there's so many different strategies, but every strategy isn't going to work for you, because somebody may be in an opposite position, whereas that they have a lot of time and they hate their job and they want to build a real estate investing business, or they want to build a wholesaling business. And that's a different path and a different approach to real estate investing than somebody who may be a doctor or a lawyer, and they have a high paying job, and they put money away in their 401k, and they need to invest that money to reduce their tax burden. And so those different strategies, you got to approach it differently. Not to say that one who doesn't have money, you can definitely be successful and get started. Because guess what? If you have time and you don't have money, you need to partner with somebody who has money and doesn't have time. And you both can be successful. And I think that's where the rubber meets the road when you start this real estate investing journey and getting going, whereas that everybody can't do everything. And so I think that's where a lot of times, with being laser focused and having somebody holding you accountable, then that allows you to be successful. And so that's one thing that my big takeaway that I wanted to share, and just was thinking about for new real estate investors to take heed to, is you want to definitely be cognizant of what your long-term goals are, and then figuring out the right strategy that works for you and not someone else. So you can be in this for the long game. It's a marathon. It's not a 40-yard dash. That you got to set this strategy up and you got to approach this, whereas that you're in a position where you can have sustained success. Whereas that you're not going to get burned out in 3 months, 4 months, because you were going down a strategy that was set up to fail because it didn't work for you and align with where you are right now in your journey. And that's okay. And so that's where you need to understand, get that alignment, get that clarity on what your goals are, and then get the right real estate vehicle for you. Because if you're going to California, you need to get there in 20 years. Yeah, you can get on a bicycle, which I equate to like maybe a single family house, one here, one there. But if you trying to get there in 3 years and you got a 3 year horizon, you need to get to California. Hey, you can't drive a bike. You definitely can't ride a bike. You can't drive a car. You probably need to get on an airplane. And the airplane would be the equivalent of multifamily, whereas that you can get there quick. But, everybody's strategy is going to be different. One person may only want $3,000 a month passive income, where somebody else may want $30,000 a month passive income. You're just going to be different vehicles that can help you get to that goal faster. And so I think that's what it's all about. So look forward to speaking with you guys tomorrow.